have an unfortunate surprise. We weren't able to film in Chowmahalla Palace because it's not allowed apparently, which is great. Anyway, right now it's the next day. I've come to Golconda Fort. Right here, it's really not in the city proper like Charminar, which was really in the middle of the old city. There's a lot of bustling atmosphere. Golconda Fort is much quieter, especially at this time of the evening that we've come here. And right now we've come to a spot where they would lay out the evening markets. Right here, if I can get the exposure right. Right here. All of those little squares were sort of small plots for the evening markets of the fort, because forts here aren't just castles, they're places where people actually lived. One thing that is interesting is that all this is part of the first few diamond mines in the entire world. Hyderabad was much of its economy was fueled by diamond sales for some time before the British happened. So I'm walking directly into the sun right now, and the footage might be a little jittery because we have stairs to climb. A lot of them.
A few moments later.
Climbing all the way up here though does have its benefits, even though it's really made me get winded. Mainly, if I can get my exposure right, you can see basically the entire city of Hyderabad. Wow, I'm tired. So after a long climb, this is all there is. This is the topmost point of Golconda Fort. There is a mosque over there, and there's a temple over there. Right there. That's a temple. If I can ever get it in focus. Seems to be a theme this time. And there's just a viewing point. I get to make that climb again, except downstairs this time. Which is actually worse because all of the steps are really slippery. So after making that long, exhausting and ever so slightly underwhelming trek, we have now come to the second half of the fort, which is actually far more substantial. I don't know why we even went. I don't know why we even did that climb. Clearly I can't even speak. I'm so appalled. So here's a spot that is a little bit closer to the actual plots of land that were set out for the Meena Bazaar, the market that I told you about earlier. There was of course sale of diamonds that were mined in this province under this kingdom, but there were also probably household items, clothing, food, maybe not food, expensive clothing, stuff that the royal household would have used, and maybe some nobles, but not the common man, of course, in those times. So we come now to the second half of the fort, which is where all the main attractions are. Don't trust the guides. All of that were the main quarters. So according to the fort authorities, this whole structure was built around the 16th century AD. It was maybe used as a firearm depot. It's called the Aslah Khana, which I'm not sure what that means, I'm sorry. But it was probably used as a firearm depot. Although the signboard doesn't seem to be sure. I'll insert something here if I can find any credible research, but there's really no faulting ASI, the Architectural Survey of India. They are good. You may notice a slight dip in the picture quality because I'm recording with my phone because my camera battery ran out. I do have a spare battery handy here, but not right here, of course, because reasons. Anyway, this is called the Nakar Khana. This was apparently an old palace. All of this is just the remains of that palace. If my camera will ever focus, which it refuses to do today, especially disturbing since I've switched cameras. I'm now recording with my phone. Anyway, let's move on to the next and final thing. After that, I do have a surprise for you. The next building here is the Taramati Mosque, which, let me just take a quick read here. The beautiful mosque, popularly known as Taramati's Mosque, is a good example of Qutb Shahi architecture. The Qutb Shahi were the dynasty that built most of this fort. Quite a lot of it was constructed by older dynasties as well. It is marked by three arches, with the central being larger than the rest. Clap, clap, clap more, clap substantially. That, so this is where we're ending. This is the gate of the fort, and the reason I'm speaking so in such a low voice is because anything that sounds, I guess, here echoes 24 times. So that is what the ceiling looks like.